We can definitely do that. Yeah. Yes, you can see that the weather has changed and we are definitely glowing today.
Yes.
It's gorgeous outside, so we're carrying on. So thank you, Wendy. You're back again, my willing guinea pig to record these sessions for the benefit of other people as well as for you and for me.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a little bit, just for some context, if anybody's watching it for the first time, we're just doing a little bit about health and how you can start to improve things in that kind of space in your life. And over the last sessions, we dug into some of the reasons that stop you from getting the things that you want to, and how some of those life challenges get in the way and stop you from doing the things you want to do. So we will start today. Let's just kind of take it wherever we take it. As always, Wendy, it's your conversation, your time. If there's anything that comes up today that you're not happy to share in the recording, we will just take it out and remove it. You don't need to feel like you're sharing anything that you're not comfortable to share. But we'll record the whole thing and then I can edit it afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, lovely.
So we said we would go through and we'd see if we could do a little bit of kind of goal setting, a little bit of how do we begin to break down this mammoth woolly thing that is a health journey into something that feels a little bit more doable, a bit more practical, a bit more manageable maybe. And we talked previously about like not allowing things to become so huge that they feel too big and unachievable, too overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I thought we might use the idea of SMART targets or SMART goals, which I know you've come across in other worlds and work life and all that type of stuff. And the model looks like the S is for specific. So let's get into something specific. What's one thing that we're going to work on? It doesn't mean that we can't cover other things at later dates, but we're going to start with something that feels like it's specific to start with. The M is for measurable. So how would we know if we're doing it or not? The A is for achievable. So how realistic or how achievable does it feel like it's going to be? The R is for realistic. So how realistic is it? Is it too challenging? Is it not challenging enough? And then what is the T?
Timely.
Timely. There you go. I knew you knew this already. So timely. Yes. Yeah. So when do we do it?
Yeah.
What do we need to think about? So does that sound okay with you?
Sounds really good.
Let's go where we go then. And obviously just abandon this and do whatever we need to do if it's not working for you. Okay.
Yeah. Lovely.
So let's start specific. So S of SMART, specific. What would be the one thing, the one goal that you would want to work on that's going to help you move in that direction about better health?
Yeah. So for me, funnily enough, I met up with two friends at the weekend who are getting married this year, and they've lost a load of weight and they were looking brilliant. And I just sort of said to them, what have you done? How did you do it? And they both said straight away, logging our food. And that's exactly what I know I need to do. So my first goal is going to be around logging my food, but I'm not going to. What I would have done previously is I would have set myself a target that in my head I've got to log everything for the rest of my life, which is like just ridiculous because life doesn't work like that. So in my head, I'm thinking, right, I'm not going to start logging my food until a week from now because I'm going away for a family weekend and there'll be a lot of eating out and stuff where I won't know what I've eaten. So I wouldn't be able to log it. Life would just get in the way. But then after that, I've got quite a nice long period of time where things are going to be nice and simple. So I'm thinking I'm going to log my food, but I'm going to set myself the target of 5 days a week. So Monday to Friday, I'm going to log everything that I eat, all 3 meals. And I'm going to be quite regimented during the week. And then at weekends, I'm going to allow myself a little bit of flexibility. So I'm going to see how that works because that might, by focusing on just doing the week, I think it's more of an achievable thing for me. And I think the knock-on effect of doing it is that I will be more conscious of what I'm eating at the weekend, even if I'm not logging it. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the effect that it has.
Yeah, lovely. And that is really nice and specific. So
Yeah.
you want to be, I'm just going to play it back to you, right? So you're going to log all of your meals each week and snacks, everything that you have.
Yes, yeah, everything for those days, Monday to Friday. Yeah.
Okay, Monday to Friday, and then you're going to be much more flexible at the weekend and just go with the flow. But what you're hoping to see, or maybe you're keeping an eye on, is whether that helps you to be a bit more aware of what's going on over the weekend as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I play that back to you, how does that sound? Does that sound, yeah, this is the right place to start, yeah?
It definitely does, yeah. Because if I'd said to you that I was gonna log all my food consistently Monday to Sunday and all of that, I know I'd be sitting here now going, oh God, I'll stop by next Monday because I just know that I'll have got bored by then. But the fact that I'm going to do Monday to Friday and then almost have like a couple of days off will just give me that routine because I like routine.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. And that is really nicely into the M of SMART, which is about measurable. So
Yeah.
how would you measure whether you are on track with this specific goal or not?
Well, the app that I'm going to use will be My Fitness Pal, so that'll show me if I've actually done it or not, and log the food and
Yeah.
followed it.
And then so how would you check whether, or when would you check about, have I done my 5 days? Have I done my 3 meals a day? Does it present that to you? Do you have to go and look at a particular page of the app? I'm just wondering
Yeah.
about, like, is it the kind of thing you could just ignore, or do you
um,
have to measure it as part of that app?
I mean, the nice thing is every day when I go into it to put the food in, I'll be able to look back on the previous days that I've done. And
Okay.
it does say to you, this is your fourth day in a row, this is your fifth day in a
Oh,
row. So, but I'll be breaking that chain because I won't do the Saturday and Sunday. So then it'll be that, but it'll start every week with this is your second day in a row, this is your third day in a row. So I'll be looking to get to that 5 every week.
okay, brilliant. And then what would happen? What would you do if, say, you get to Monday and you've obviously not logged over the weekend? Monday kind of drifts apart. Maybe it's bank holiday Monday. It's May, isn't it? So we've got a couple of bank holiday Mondays coming up that might disrupt the routine. What happens then if you miss a Monday? Or would you get back on it on a Monday?
I think the type of person I am, I will still do it on that Monday because in my head it's Monday and I like to hit my targets.
Mhm.
But if I don't for some reason and our plans change and I think, oh, I'll just treat it like a Sunday because it's a bank holiday, I won't beat myself up about it, which I probably would have done before, where I would have gone, oh, well, you've messed it up now, so you might as well not bother again for the rest of the week and then start again next Monday. But I won't do that. I'm just going to say to myself, no, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'll just start Tuesday instead and do 4 days this week and see how it goes.
Mm. And how does that feel different to you, doing it a little bit more with a bit more forgiveness, or a bit more,
Yeah,
you tell me, what kind of word would you use to describe that?
it does. It feels a bit kinder to myself than I normally would be. And I think that's one of the things I've picked up from all of our sessions. I don't know if you like said it back to me or the way you say it things back to me, but I think, yeah, I've got to be kinder to myself. I've got to, I've really got to not beat myself up about stuff because, especially when we first started this and I was so upset about thugs, then I realized that I was being really horrible to myself because I kept being like, oh God, you should be over this. Why are you and I was pushing everything down. But now that being kinder to myself is all that stuff coming up. So it's
Love it. I
nice.
really like
Yeah.
that. That's so nice. And when you think about this specific goal and you think about logging your food,
Yeah.
how is logging your food kinder to yourself?
Well, it will help me get to my goal because to the ultimate goal, which is to get healthier and get a bit fitter. Because at the moment, I've realised that I'm actually unkind to myself when I eat all this rubbish, because when I'm doing my CrossFit class, I'm like wading through treacle because that's all I've put into my body. So I walked back from CrossFit the other morning and thought, I said to my body, because it was the first one back after I'd hurt my back, I said to my body as I was walking back, I said, oh, thank you, well done for getting me through that class today. I said, I'm going to reward you by having some nice salad.
Oh, that's so nice.
So
that's
did.
like, oh, well done, me.
Yeah. Well done, body. You did
Well done, body. We did good. We did good work today.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you plenty of juice.
Oh, and that feels really different
Mm.
from some of the other things. Just describe a little bit about how you might have handled that differently in the past. What's changed there?
I don't know what it is. It's like, I think before I didn't look at the good times. You know, I just didn't acknowledge the good times that were there, where you thought, God, yeah, no, just managed to do that workout. Well done. They weren't even on the radar. I was just walking from one thing to the next, come back from class and be into work, and everything was just shrouded in sadness. But now, because that's lifted, it's like I can actually go, yeah, that's good. Well done. Yeah, you can recognize the good things, and they actually stand out a bit more, but they didn't before.
Nice. That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's lovely. So recognizing the good things that are going on.
Yeah. It's like, because everything was like in the shadows. Even the good stuff was in the shadows, whereas now the good stuff's out in the light, and it's like, oh yeah, well done.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's a little bit of that, because we talked a lot about pushing things down, didn't we?
Yeah.
If you push it down all the time, you kind of like you almost numb everything, don't you? After a
Very
while.
much.
So now it's like, oh, allowing it all a little bit to be a bit more what it is.
To feel it, yeah, that's it actually, because I think my general feelings had been so on a low level that now actually I have my nice little highs have come back, and sometimes it'll go down, it'll be sad again, but it pretty much is a higher level normally, but it actually does have peaks now. So yeah.
And when you say that out loud, how does that feel to you?
Oh, it feels like a million miles away from how I was feeling when I first started. It really is. It's like I just feel like myself again, much more like the person I was before folks passed away. And I think, yeah, that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be back there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so nice. Lovely.
It's amazing. It really is. I think you've really hit on something here that would just help people with grief so much.
Yeah. So let's keep on with our SMART goals. So we've done specific, we've done measurable. So how will we know?
Yes.
The A is about achievable.
Yes.
I'm just going to double check this, Wendy. I have these little cards. I have these little cards that I made that have got all of the different models and things on, and I've got one.
Brilliant.
So some of the people that do coaching stuff have these little things as well. Bear with, let me find it. Not that one.
Can't believe there are so many models.
There are so many. Honestly, this is what coaches go crazy on. So yeah, go SMART goals.
Lovely. Perfect.
Things. So yes, A is achievable. So how achievable do you feel that this goal is? So you're not going to start until when? Next week?
Going to start next Wednesday.
Okay.
Back from holiday on Tuesday. So next Wednesday will be my first normal routine-y kind of day.
Lovely.
So yeah. So I think that's good to start on that day when I can, have a nice simple day.
Lovely. So plan is to start logging on Tuesday, yeah?
On Wednesday.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the date. So from Wednesday onwards. So how do you feel about that. Does that feel doable? Is there anything that might get in the way of that?
I don't think so. The only thing that might be a little issue is that, of course, I won't have any food in the house, but I think I'll have the stuff that I need for breakfast, and then I'll just have to make my plan to go food shopping that day to get the stuff for the rest of the week. But it'll help me focus on buying food that's good for the rest of the week.
Lovely. Okay, so what could you do now to help that be a little bit easier?
Plan my meals, I suppose. Think about what I'm going to have for Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. Yeah, and I'm going to go real simple. You know, I'm not going to try and make all fancy meals with loads of different ingredients. I'm just going to have some nice salads, a few new potatoes, probably have fish one night, chicken one night, same sort of things, but it'll be nice and simple just to get me in the flow and get me in the routine.
Lovely. Lovely. So that feels achievable. Doesn't feel like there's anything that's going to get in your way if you have done the food planning. So knowing what you're going to eat and then getting that food in fairly soon.
Yeah.
So that it's easy.
Yeah. That's it. And when I do the plan for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll probably do the following Monday to Friday as well.
Okay.
So that I'm like ahead of myself. And yeah.
Lovely. That sounds like a really good idea as well. And when you go shopping, just taking us off on a slight tangent for a minute, but when you go shopping, is that a time when it feels like you get distracted? I mean, I know, they put all sorts of goodies and all sorts of temptations in our way. They're very clever like that. Are you the kind of person who goes with a list and just gets what's on the list, or do you tend to just kind of like, how does shopping work? And will it support you here?
So for me, I don't go with a list, but I now shop at Lidl, and I just find it so much easier because there is literally just one of everything. You know, like if you want kidney beans, you buy a tin kidney beans. You haven't got like 1,000 different ones to choose from with like different sauces and all that sort of stuff. And it's the same. I head in there. They've got the fruit and veg. Get that sorted out. Get what I need fruit and veg wise. Then straight into the fresh meats. Get my fresh meats. And then I'm like, do I need anything from the freezer section? Sometimes I need vegetables. Sometimes I don't. And yeah, I just find it really simple to shop there. It takes all of the hassle out of it for me, because I can't stand it when I have to go for like miles to try and find something that I'm looking for. Like with the bigger supermarkets, and there's loads of people and all that sort of stuff. But I tend to go quite early in the morning and avoid the crowds, and yeah, just nice and straightforward and quiet.
Yeah, lovely. So that helps, doesn't it? Because then there's not as much temptation to get distracted.
Yes.
By. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's definitely a theme here, isn't there, about keeping it simple?
Yes.
Yeah.
Keeping it every element as simple as possible. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Exactly. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so the next one is realistic. How realistic is it to... I'm sounding a bit challenging here, aren't I? How realistic is this, Wendy, to actually set yourself this target of logging 5 days a week? I mean, clearly life gets in the way. There's other stuff to do. You'll want to go out for lunches with good friends. I mean, what? There's all these things that get off track. How realistic is this as a target?
I think that this is actually way more realistic than if I'd set myself the goal of doing it every day. Because as well, when I do 5, like when we do CrossFit, we have like sometimes have to do 5 rounds. Like this morning, we had a set of exercises and we had to do 5 rounds of it. And I always think that when I've hit 2 rounds, I start the 3rd and I think, oh well, you're over halfway now. And then I think, oh well, when I'm into the 4th round, I've only got 1 round left to go. And I think that's how it will be. It's almost like 5's a good number for that, because you're already into it before you start thinking about it. And then by the time you think about it, you're halfway through. So you think, I might as well carry on. You know, there's whereas like 7 days can be quite daunting. It's like that much bigger a number, and it takes you to day 4 to reach the middle, really.
Yeah.
And so so I think doing 5 days is much more realistic and much more achievable for me, because the way my brain works, it'll be like, oh, you're nearly done now, there's no point stopping now, carry on.
Yeah, we've done it. We're there. Would you be willing to let me give you a bit of a challenge?
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is, would there be a risk that over the weekend you go a bit crazy and you undo all of your good work from Monday to Friday?
There is a risk, yeah.
So what would you, I mean, how would you approach that? What's your plan or your thinking around that?
I'm thinking that, again, it's almost that as soon as I've got some under my belt, I just think there's no point destroying it now, because you've already come this far. And so when it does get to the weekend, I won't want to destroy it because I've already done this much. But I think if I said to myself, oh well, just to be on the safe side, make sure you log Saturday and Sunday as well, then I might be more inclined to fail, because it seems like too big an amount, again, if you know what I mean. Whereas when I'm just doing 5, it's doable. Whereas 7 just seems that little stretch too far. But by doing the 5, I should be in a better place for not misbehaving on the 2, because I've come that far already.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that, and I feel, I mean, based on all the conversations we've had, it feels important not to make it such a mountain that it just becomes, very all or nothing. Very, I've got to do all of it and get to the top of the mountain, or I failed. And it's that breaking it down into smaller pieces, and I think that sounds really sensible. I guess what I'm aware of in this is that I know that I could really go crazy over a weekend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how you want the flexibility. I totally agree with the not logging things, all that kind of stuff, and being a bit more relaxed about it, because it's the long haul we're going for, not for the short term win. I just wonder if there's would there be anything that might be helpful to help, just, I don't know what it is, but I just if there's a way of thinking about the weekend that is going to be useful here.
What I'm wondering is, like, because ultimately I'll be doing this activity of logging the food to achieve the goal of the weight loss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor the weight loss and see if I'm eating really good for 5 days, but then I'm not losing any weight after a week, then it means there is something really wrong with the 2 days. So I'm going to use that to then say to me, so if I set myself almost like doing this 5 days for a month, so 4 weeks or something, see how that goes. And then if after that 4 weeks, actually I need to start doing it 7 days a week because I'm not getting the result that I wanted.
Lovely. And I really like that kind of measuring and adjusting.
Yeah.
Like, working, is it not working? Is it enough? Do I need to do more? Is it too much? Because obviously, with weight loss, if you lose too much too quickly, sometimes you just put it all straight back on again. That's not necessarily the direction you want to go in. So there is something else coming up for me, Wendy, that you said before to me in the past, and I can't quite bring it to mind, but it was something about restraint or constraints, or can you remember what that was?
So it's is it the whole thing about it's not restriction, it's restraint?
Yes.
Is that what it is? So I'm not restricting myself, I'm exercising restraint.
I mean, I wonder whether, maybe this is something that we could just talk about way further down the line anyway, and maybe it's not for this week, but I just wonder if that kind of mindset is helpful again.
Yeah, actually it probably really would be, because I need to have that in the forefront of my mind, that I'm not restricting myself. I am just operating with restraint and saying, no, I don't need that because I'm all right, or I'm not hungry, so I don't need to eat those things. And also, yeah, that whole thing about at the weekend I can have a taste of something. I don't have to eat the whole thing. I don't have to eat the whole packet, or whatever it is.
And even if you do, it's okay if you're being, like you said already, being that bit more conscious about what it is you're doing.
Yeah,
that will over time pay dividends. I'm absolutely sure.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry if that felt challenging. It was more
No,
just
it's good.
like I knew that there was a conversation that we'd had somewhere in there that might be useful again here. So
yeah, no, really good.
So the last piece is about timeliness.
Yeah.
So to finish off our SMART goal. So the timeliness piece is about, we talked about starting next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then what do you think in terms of timeliness for checking in on how you're getting on with this? What do you think is a sensible, we've tried for this long, or, now is time to adjust, or what is your thinking around the timeline here?
Lovely. So I'm thinking I will be checking in with myself. Like, I'm going to have a series of check-ins, because I'll have the check-in daily during the week when I'm checking in, logging my food. So that's like my first little sort of check-in. Then I'm probably going to get back into the habit of weighing myself like every other day, because I quite like that. I like that motivation of like seeing it. So I will get into that little habit, but I'll weigh myself every other day, but I'll only log my weight once a week. So I'm going to do that on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So yeah.
Lovely. Okay. And then how long, like, so I like the idea of running it as a bit of an experiment. So we're not taking it so seriously, like it, we're not committing every single fiber of our being to it. We're kind of like going, let's run an experiment and see if it works, or if it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, we can adjust. So it feels a little bit more flexible.
Yes.
I don't know how that sits with you, but that for me,
perfect.
That's a bit more, it's a bit more realistic in terms. So how long would you want to do this experiment number one for before you decide whether you need to make any adjustments? Because I think isn't very long, is it?
No. I think about 4 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, if nothing's really changed after 4 weeks, then something needs a tweak.
Perfect. How does that feel for you? When you say that, does that feel good, feel okay?
It does, actually. And it feels like, it's funny, because if you think of 4 as a number, it's not very big. But if you think that's a month, so in time, it's quite a lot. So yeah, I think of the number and I think, 4 weeks, and you will be through 4 weeks before you even know it. It's like a blink of an eye these days, isn't it?
Sure is.
So it's like we're already tomorrow in the 5th month of the year, and it's like, oh my god. So I think 4 weeks is a good period.
Okay, so let me play back to you this whole conversation.
So
you're going to start logging your food from next Wednesday, after you've had your weekend away and you've done that, because life feels a little bit more settled, and you're going to aim for simplicity and just starting to log things on your app, and it's going to tell you how often you're doing it, and you're going to aim to do 5 days a week, and then be flexible over the weekends, and you're going to check in with yourself daily, weigh yourself every few days, and then only log that once a week to kind of track your progress. And you're going to do 4 weeks of this as a bit of an approach, an experiment, and then have a kind of look at, okay, is it working? Is it enough? Is it doable? When I play that back to you, how does that feel in terms of your response? Does it feel okay?
Yeah, it feels really good. It feels like a really nice plan.
Mm.
And I love a plan. So yeah, that sounds, and it sounds doable, and all of the things in the smart bit. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
So on a sort of scale from 0 to 10, where 10 is absolutely committed to making this little experiment
Yeah,
work, like having a go, how committed do you feel to having a go out of 10?
I want to say 10 because
Really?
I really want to give it a proper go. And yeah, and also I think because we've chunked it down, it doesn't, yeah, like 4 weeks is good. Yeah, it's like I'm not committing like the rest of my life. I'm like just doing it for 4 weeks, see how it goes, and then do another 4 weeks, and then another 4 weeks if I need to. And yeah,
And adjust as you go. There might be times when you need
that's
to,
it.
you need to make a change. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, good. And would you say it feels ambitious enough? Does it feel a little bit like it's too safe?
Do you know what? It doesn't, because I have over the last 6 months, I have tried to do this 1,000 times, but they're like, if I go into my Fitness Pal and have a look at the times where I've started logging food and then 4 days in stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and like 3 days in stopped, 4 days in stopped again. You know, it's like there's so many repeat performances of that inside my app. And I think the reason is at those times was because I couldn't see an end in sight. I could just see a long road going on forever, and it was like, oh, I don't want to be on this road.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've got like the little chunk up ends in sight, I think, yeah, I can commit the time to it.
Mm. Yeah, because it does take a little bit of preparation, doesn't it? And a
Yeah,
bit of discipline. Okay,
yeah.
what can I do to support you to make that work? What's going to be the best way to check in with you? When do you want to meet again? When, what help do you need from me to help you do this? Be accountable.
Brilliant. Shall we meet fortnightly?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be great going
Yeah,
forwards.
lovely.
And what will really help is if you give me loads of praise.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so you need some praise, celebration. Yeah.
I always need praise.
That's good, but it's good because then you need, that's good. You know that that's what you need, and you can certainly do that. So I'll help you. I'll help you stay accountable for it. What I
Yeah.
want you to do is just remember that it doesn't matter to me if you don't log anything.
Yeah.
We are experimenting with ways to find the things that are going to work for you for the long haul. So it doesn't feel like you have to keep doing this starting piece.
Yeah.
And that will change. And I'm on your side and in your corner,
Brilliant.
regardless of how that journey goes. So
Yeah.
don't ever feel like you've got to do it for me.
Yes.
I'm supporting you with it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, brilliant. Love it.
Okay, fantastic, Wendy. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
yeah, speak to you in a couple of weeks.
Fab.
It was recording.